I've been told that people seem to think that I love to hear myself talk. And it is very true. I do love to hear myself talk. They'll never get me to admit it, but I do. All right, so we all have seen Nick Shirley's expose on Minnesota. And we all know that that's been a political flashpoint. Lots of people have been talking about it. Lots of people have been, weighing in with their opinion. And I usually tend to ignore primary sources like this because they tend to attract the most rabid of people. But for this, we're going to go in, we're trying to keep an open mind because there are a lot of problems with the homeless industry. We're going to put it the homeless industry because it is an industry. It is a charitable industry. I've witnessed this firsthand. I have. People do not care about the homeless. People do not care to help the homeless, at least as an organizational standpoint. They only care about making money off of the homeless, which they won't see a dime of. And it really breaks me up on the inside to see that. Like I said earlier, I have been on mission before. I have seen true poverty in its face. I've never been in poverty. I thank God every night of that, or every night for that. But I have seen it before with my own eyes. And it really hurts me to see people who have to live like this. And it hurts me even more to see people who take advantage of these poor individuals. They suffer from mental health problems. They suffer from drug addiction problems. And people like to make a lot of money off of them. So I'm with this, I'm going to come in with an open mind, maybe share some anecdotal experiences from my life. And, let's all keep in the forefront of our mind as we're going forward that the people who are going to be interviewed and shown here are really, truly the victims of a system that predates upon them.
This is not a refugee camp, and it is not a war zone. This is downtown Los Angeles, and you're looking at Skid Row,
one of our most, venerated cities, by the way.
Densely populated homeless area in all of America. Crammed into an area smaller than half a square mile are over 4,500 people living on the streets inside tents. That's more than 40 people per block, surviving and some even fiending for the next hit.
We can even talk about the causes till the cows come home. But the causes don't matter right now because right now they're on the streets and we need to find some way of getting them aid. And the form of that aid needs to be drug rehab programs, rehousing programs that are in some way meant to get them to a point where they become functional members of society again. We shouldn't just be giving them houses. We should be trying to give them the tools and ability to put their lives back together. And that's the most pressing issue.
Stay alive. To put it in perspective, Skid Row has more people per square mile than the entire city of Washington, D.C., and every single one of them are homeless. In this video, I'm walking you through the streets of Skid Row. You'll see the conditions up close and personal as I speak with the people living on these streets and giving you guys an in-depth look as to how this has happened and how it continues to happen in one of the richest cities in America. Now it's time for us to hit the streets of Skid Row, and I'm meeting up with a local by the name of Tommy Tomato to give us an inside look
You really want to know what's happening with all the homeless, you meet up with the locals. They know everything.
into Skid Row.
We're gonna hop in the car right now, and then we're gonna get out of the car.
Because they're really the only ones that care because it's their community.
They're just waking up this morning, so I think they'll be in good spirits right now.
Awesome, let's hop in the car and we're gonna drive around and we're gonna see what it's like before we get out on the streets. So here on Skid Row, when did this all start happening? About back in the 80s, or has this been kind of recently in these past couple years?
Well, Skid Row's always been here for a long time, since about like the 70s, 80s. But now that they've actually expanded.
Yeah, it's always been a problem, except the problem is it's been going up precipitously in the last couple of decades.
And have more homelessness, so they've actually gone past Skid Row, and they still call it Skid Row, it's just other sections as well. Newsom, he's been governor for a while and he's been in politics for a long time. He's been trying to do this for 16 years, 17 years, fight homelessness, and he hasn't done anything with it except for spin.
Yeah, he's been fighting homelessness for like 3 decades and it's only been getting worse. Imagine how that
An
works.
exuberant amount of money.
Since Gavin Newsom has been governor of California,
I wonder, where did all that money go, I wonder?
$24 billion has gone unaccounted for that was supposed to go to fighting the homeless crisis. And just recently, LA failed to pass another audit for $2.3 billion.
So $24 billion and $2.3 billion. It's, you know, billions, not millions. That's billions. I don't think that you, like, I think if you gave $2.3 billion to like a rural community, they probably couldn't even spend that in a decade. That's how much money we're talking about here. We're talking piles, absolute piles of money that have made a negative impact in the homeless community. If you don't think that something weird's not going on there, then I've got several bridges to sell you in several different non-existent countries
that went missing. Some weird things are happening in California, especially when the governor, Gavin Newsom, somehow just bought a $9 million mansion in the Bay Area.
That's got nothing to
Most
do
of the
with
people
it.
right here, they're all doing drugs.
That's got nothing to do with it. See, the problem is he could have made that $9 million from literally anything. It doesn't have to necessarily be corruption that he's pocketing directly from the government. But I assume that that's what the implication was. The problem is it's not going to him. It's funneling to other agencies and other things around that have nothing to do with government or politics.
Drugs, you know, they're getting their
Like,
packs
to completely keep on task. It might be, it is the state that is the issue, not an individual.
ready, you know, buying things and selling things that, you know, they steal or...
So like, look right here, we have a whole entire setup,
Look,
and people got
tables.
chairs outside, tables.
Like they're expecting company, you know, they got their own outhouse that the city comes and cleans up. So it's a dangerous job for them too, because they're cleaning up
My God.
disease, you know, bathrooms, the needles.
So look, they're putting out a fire here.
I don't know how a
literally
city
just on
could
the
get away
street
with
of
just
LA.
letting this
There's a
happen.
huge fire going on, and what could be inside of this fire? Do you think it's
Everything.
just clothes, or do you think it could be?
There could be a
Trash,
body
it's
in that
clothes, it's their personal
fire. Who knows?
possessions, It could be drugs, needles, feces. It could be so many different things that are just going in the air, getting everybody sick. If that wasn't there, it wouldn't be on fire. You know, and it's just a lot of funds for them to come and put this out and make sure, you know, people are safe.
Helicopters coming around.
Yeah, helicopters, like...
You know, I think it's actually says something that the people that I've seen in Mexico that lived in impoverished communities, they didn't act like this, by the way. This is a uniquely homeless American thing where it is astounding the things that happen in the homeless communities in large cities.
Could be literally anything inside that fire. The fumes could be, we could be breathing
A lot of it is
very
drug problems.
toxic fumes of drugs, fentanyl, anything like that.
All types of stuff is in there for sure. I mean, they should be out saving lives, not saving a fire on a street corner.
Yeah, it's a waste of
You know,
taxpayer
it's not
resources.
right.
How long have you been living here on Skid Row for?
June 28 will be 2 years.
You've been out here for 2 years now. What keeps you here on Skid Row?
Basically, primarily, I can't afford to pay rent somewhere.
We're on 4th Street right now. We're about to hop over to 5th Street, over to the heart of Skid Row. Is there anything?
That is a big problem too. He can't afford to pay rent somewhere. It's not that he can't afford to pay rent somewhere, anywhere in the United States, because I'm sure he probably could afford it if he's got a decent job, which he seems, you know, put together enough maybe to have a job, maybe not. I don't know. But I think it's specifically to the area of LA where rent control and rent prices are bonkers.
You want to be careful about?
A lot of the rotten old food that they feed us out here, they really do that to try to kill us. They ain't really trying to help us. Anything that's 3 months out of date, you shouldn't be serving to nobody.
So they're serving you guys expired food out here?
Yep.
Swear to God, I'm Catholic, we don't believe in swearing. Swear to God, a lot of it.
And why do you think they're giving you guys expired food?
Because it's cheaper. Nobody checks it.
Part of the big plan. I really believe that's part of the big plan.
And what's the big plan?
Well, the big plan is population reduction, you know? And the homeless
Hey, he coming out here spitting
is one of the
facts.
first ones they believe that should go.
I think really the reason why that is because it is a lot cheaper to not get rid of the food. They're just like, oh, well, you know what? Who cares? We're just going to give it to them. I mean, they don't care. They really don't. They do not care what they serve these people. They're like, well, they're homeless. Who cares? It's like, oh my God. It's cheaper too. They don't have to maintain their stocks. I mean, heck, a lot of the donations of food that they get are like, leftovers from grocery stores from stock that they don't sell, or some of them they get. They don't care if it goes out of date. They're definitely not eating fresh food. And I can't believe that $2.3 billion can't buy them at least food that goes bad in a week rather than out of date by 3 months.
We're like in the way.
So they're giving out this food, and right here you can see the water that's built up, and it's completely brown.
And while we were walking with this man by the name of Norman, I noticed a group of migrants that had children that were living on the streets here on Skid Row.
¿Ustedes son de Colombia?
Sí, somos colombianos, no escuchan la música.
¿Y cuánto tiempo ustedes llevan aquí en los Estados Unidos?
Llevo 2 años.
Cuando ustedes vinieron aquí a los Estados Unidos, ¿pensaba que iba a llegar aquí a este punto a vivir aquí en esta calle?
No, pensábamos que iba a ser una vida diferente.
Vinimos a cambiar la vida.
So they thought it was going to be a different life. Who would have guessed?
Aquí íbamos a cambiar nuestras vidas, no íbamos a estar así como perros, no es como estamos como perros. Porque no somos animales, somos seres humanos. Pero, coño, mira a los niños, tenemos los niños aquí, ¿ves? Una criaturita.
So here on Skid Row, we got migrants that came here from Colombia, and there's little...
This is tragic. This actually makes me very upset and angry that not only did you obviously were allowed to immigrate here without the means to support yourself. You immigrated here with your child, putting them in danger on the street. I mean, who fucking does this? I cannot believe that California would allow this to happen. This is dystopian.
Kids here and they live inside this tent. I imagine they didn't expect their life to be like this when they crossed over the border. ¿Ustedes pensaban que cuando cruzaron por la frontera eso iba a ser la vida?
No.
No. Y Dylan, ¿te gusta vivir aquí en los Estados Unidos?
No.
No.
No, of course not. You live on the fucking street.
Aquí a los Estados Unidos y ahora está viviendo en carpas aquí en uno de los más peligrosos lugares en todo el mundo.
¿Sí?
And I'm assuming good faith. I'm assuming good faith that this guy immigrated here legally. Because legally speaking, when you immigrate here, you're supposed to be able to support yourself. The government tries to dissuade you from living off of government assistance. So, in a good faith interpretation, why would the state of California have even let them in? Now, in a bad faith interpretation that this guy illegally immigrated here, this is exactly the problem that is trying to be solved.
Mejor aquí que fue allí en Colombia or...
En Colombia, estoy 1000 veces mejor en Colombia.
So that we don't have children living on the streets in America.
Non-profit workers that saw me videotaping the expired food they were handing out to the homeless people came and tracked me down, and they started getting a big argument with us over me videotaping the...
Yeah, these non-profit workers are hilarious because most non-profit workers work for a cartel. And they viciously defend their monopoly on essentially the free money that they get from the government. Because government money doesn't go directly to people. Government money gets funneled through nonprofit organizations, which then pocket about 90% of the money that they've been given. If you donate to a charity, which is super unfortunate, but any of the big name charities, you're giving 90% of whatever money that you're giving to them to the people who run the charity as a bureaucratic endeavor. Only about like 10 cents on the dollar, if that, goes to the actual cause that you're trying to donate to. And more people need to be aware of that because it's a racket. There are a lot of charities out there that are good, but you need to do your research for charities before you start donating to them. Because a lot of them just don't give the money to the cause that they want to give or that you want to give to. And this is how they make a lot of their money. And I hate it when people predate upon the goodwill of other people, because I think that good-willed people out there are special. Because I'm not a good-willed person. Like, I really am not a good-willed person at heart. I try to live my life to force myself to be good-willed, as probably most people do. But truly good-willed people out there being taken advantage of is not right. And it should be called out every chance that we get.
Expired food, and just listen to what they had to say.
Like, why am I getting in trouble for talking to these people? Why are you guys getting mad at me?
Because you guys are just like trying to find...
Because you're getting in the way of their money. Because you're getting in the way of their money.
Hey, it would be great if people...
Because you're getting in the way of their money. Shut up, you stupid fucking idiot. It's because he's getting in the way of your money. You're
we're
not trying to
we're just
help.
showing what's going on, and we're talking to people.
If you were
guys
trying
wanna
to
get
help,
mad at
this
us for
wouldn't
filming?
matter.
Like, go ahead.
If you were trying to help, it would be okay that he would be interviewing them.
Passed out, those 15 maybe were expired and we left them there because there's no like
15, add a couple of zeros to it, idiot.
Thomas, so we're just talking to people,
Like
and we're talking to
1,500.
people, and then we get a group of nonprofit people. They're trying to make a difference in what they're doing, but they get mad at us for, in our way, doing what we can to help make a difference.
Exactly, and what they're doing too is they're assuming. They're like, don't put the camera in the field. No, we asked permission first.
No. They are making sure that they maintain their monopoly on the suffering of other people. If they truly cared about the suffering of these other people, they wouldn't care if you were interviewing them. They would say that it's a good thing, bringing awareness to the suffering of their other human beings. They would be applauding you and inviting you back every second of the day, trying to get as much exposure out of you as they possibly can. You have millions of subscribers on YouTube, and you could run millions of donation drives for these people. Your reach is beyond anything that they could have hoped or imagined to have had. They are trying to take advantage of these people, and they don't want you to show it. If they truly cared, they would be begging you for the exposure.
And make sure that it's okay.
Hands and
if they
knees
wanna speak on
prostrated
camera
before you.
We actually do that. So, kid that you guys were looking at, she said those aren't even the parents. I said, so who's the parents of the kid? They're like, well, we don't know. And I said, well, then there's a trafficking issue, you know. And then now
Exactly.
when the camera came, they're like, oh no, it's not a trafficking issue. That's not what we said. 2 seconds ago, the lady just said there's a trafficking issue down here, that kid is not belong to them.
Is there a lot
Yeah,
of
of
human
course.
trafficking, like child trafficking, that goes on here?
I'm going to bet you this guy knows every single person who's being trafficked here. He probably would never admit it, but he lives here. He probably knows everything that's happening. He's like, yep. He'd probably be like, these three over here, that one over there. These guys are the traffickers. They're going to be moving over there. He probably knows everything about it. And it's not hard. You send one government, I bet you if the government sent one federal agent in there with the absolute mission to get, to know everything that's happening, they'd know it within a day. Because they'd go in and ask the locals, and they would all, they're open. They would be like, yep, this is what's happening. And then still nothing would happen because the government is ineffective at dishing out resources to help the community. It's such a cyclical bureaucratic problem that actually, I'm getting frustrated.
This part area.
Ain't no telling what the fuck are doing.
We actually did confront them about the expired food, and she said, well, there's thousands of food, and maybe 15 of those are expired. How do we know that only 15 of them are expired if there's mixed in with
Like I said, add a couple
Exactly.
of zeros.
They don't know. And primarily,
They have 1,000 expired food, or they have 1,000 food with only 15 expired. That means they have probably about 2,000 food and 1,500 of them are expired. And only 500 of them are good, even though they're still technically out of date, but they just happen to have not gone out of date. They just happen to have not gone out of date at the point in time. Or they hadn't spoiled. Out of date, not spoiled. He's cooking, I know.
glad she told you that. And I'm glad she refused to give me some food, but more than likely, it was expired anyway.
Oh, yeah.
That's some bullshit, man.
What are most people consuming out here on Skid Row? What
That's some bullshit. Yeah, that's... What a perfect way of putting it.
kind of drugs are they taking in?
All of it. I'm so scared that I might have a friend that used that fentanyl. I'm so scared because they giving it to anybody, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think this is all planned, or how do you think they stop all this?
And like,
It's growing.
one thing that my non-American viewers don't know, and I bet you some American viewers don't know, is that California actually passed in I think 2008, maybe 2011, 12, somewhere around there. They passed some type of bill that basically allows people to do drugs openly on the street without punishment. In fact, they have things, I think, that they give people the means to do drugs safely. They give them sterilized and clean needles. They give them, I don't know, some type of drug related stuff that allows them to not have to rely on street drugs or street things for drugs, which that's a government funded program too. And I am in awe that their thought process to solve the drug problem in their inner cities is to make it easier to do drugs safely, because there's a safe way to do drugs. Instead of putting that, and I'm going to remind you, $2.3 billion into forced rehabilitation programs for people who are drug addicts. I'm not saying to put them in jail and get them in trouble. I'm saying that you need to take them off the streets and force them to go into rehab programs so that they can get the help that they need. I don't want them to go to jail. That sounds terrible. Punishing somebody for, having a drug problem, sure, we can argue about the ethicality about that all the time, but really at the end of the day, what we should be doing is helping these people become drug-free. Because it is, as you can very plainly see, ruining their lives.
It's not stopping.
It's not stopping.
It's taking over meth.
How many of your friends have died out here? Okay, we see you got some stuff in your hands. What do you have in your hands today?
3 people have died. 3 people have died due to drug-related things that she can just be like, 3. It's like, wow.
Pipe.
What kind of drugs?
This is America, by the way.
Alcohol and crack.
And crack. Is that crack? Is that cocaine, or is it when you say crack? Are people taking a lot of fentanyl here as well?
Oh, obviously.
Very much. I've lost about 20 friends to fentanyl within the
20 friends. Wait.
last half a year.
20 friends in 6 months. 20 people to fentanyl in 6 months. I'm about to say maybe Trump's not going hard enough on the fentanyl cartels that are pushing them over the border. Maybe we need to actually start being a little bit more drastic. That's insane. That is an insane amount of people who died to fentanyl, because this is not a single story. This is probably an average story.
Taking fentanyl, or was it just laced with the crack?
Oh yeah.
Yep, laced.
Did that scare you?
Oh yeah.
I did. I actually had left for about a month. I went home to my mom for a little while because it was just too much for me.
And now, what brought you back here to Skid Row?
Drugs. Up there it is. Yeah.
How do you guys make your money out here?
That is. Oh my God. That breaks my heart. She had to go. She went back to the street, not because she was legitimately homeless, because she was, she obviously went back to her mother. She went back to the street because she just couldn't give up drugs. Like, that's just so tragic, man. I can't believe. There needs to be some type of, I'm not usually one for government programs, but there needs to be some type of government program or some type of standardized program that you can say, this guy needs to go to this rehab, and they can come in, say, you got to go to rehab. You're not in trouble, but for the next X period of your life, you're getting rehab. Doesn't need to be held against you. It doesn't need to have any legal repercussions in the sense that you're going into the program. But if you dodge the program, I think that you should have legal repercussions. There needs to be some type of fix to this problem that is non-judicial.
On the streets.
Well, me personally, I clean. I clean garbage, trash, and I sell dope.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
As you do.
A supplement.
And when you sell those drugs to the people, do you feel some sort of responsibility if anything wrong happens?
Well, yeah, but I'm pretty confident in the product that I do sell, because the people who I get it from is very conscientious of their product, because of their clientele. So yeah.
I never thought I'd be hearing that from some type of guy on the street saying that my product, that my supplier for my product is conscientious of the end user. I mean, it makes sense because you're going to need people to be, coming back for your product. So obviously you don't want it to be bad, but still, it's like, come on,
yeah,
come on, guys.
Okay, so you have a lot of confidence in what you sell. You don't.
Definitely. I stick to the same thing that been working with me for years.
Do you ever have any plans to stop selling, to stop living here on Skid Row?
As of right now, no.
Man,
no. Honestly, no. I guess I'm here until they run us out.
A lot of the people here on Skid Row think they are just taking dope or any other substance. However,
and it's got a bunch of different stuff in it. You don't know what's in there.
Into these other harmful substances, and fentanyl is so strong, just a sprinkle of it can kill you. I beg you, if you are watching this video, please stay away from fentanyl like it's the Black Plague. It is so deadly and is killing so many people. Please stay away.
This guy is clearly, he's passed out right now. How do we know that he is still alive and that he doesn't need Narcan right now?
He's breathing. You see his chest rising, and it's going up and down, and his color's good. Now, if he's blue,
man,
he's not responsive, his color's gone, he'd be like a blue, gray, purple color, then you know he's overdosing.
Okay.
So the most important thing is to hit him with Narcan. Doesn't matter how much Narcan you give him. You know, if you got 3 in here, give him all 3 and rescue breaths.
Okay, so what's in here? What's inside this bag?
Okay, so
this Narcan, you inject into their nose and it brings them back to life.
yes, sir. Yeah.
While I was talking to the guy about Narcan,
I am
my
just
friend
absolutely floored by this.
Tommy was also talking to another guy in the cart about some other things, and I think you guys are all going to find this very strange what he'd received from the people on the cart.
We were talking to the people over there in the van, and they're giving out free stuff.
Oh, is this it?
To save people, and then they're also giving.
Is this the government-funded goodie bag that allows you to do drugs more efficiently and more effectively?
Needles.
Oh,
and what's
yep.
their,
Okay.
Like, what's the idea of giving out needles and the rubber bands?
This is so they could do the drugs like without worrying about disease, so everyone gets a clean needle.
That's like, how many needles inside there? There's
27, 10 of them.
There's
You're getting 10 needles for free, bro. Okay.
10 needles inside of this bag right here.
You get the
rubber band.
Okay, you get the rubber band.
Are those
You get the
cotton
alcohol,
swabs?
You get the cotton swabs.
Oh,
and then This is what you
wow.
actually put it in here and heat this up, and then they give you filtered water.
So they're literally.
Wait, they have a thing where you can like, they've got a spoon. They've got a clean spoon where you can heat your stuff up on. Is this real? Like, I remember seeing like a joke gag about it in Robot Chicken, like people, heating shit up on spoons, right? No, I guess the government's just like, yeah, here's a spoon.
They're literally giving the people here on the street what they need to keep doing drugs.
And it's funny because if you notice, like in your hand, you have
Say it's funded by the
Narcan
government,
one,
right?
So they're giving you the drugs, the stuff to do the drugs, right? This, glass pipes.
Oh my god, it is an actual fucking pipe. You can get I want my government pipe. This is what I'm so glad I don't live in California. I would be crashing the fuck out right now if I lived in California. Oh my god. I'm so glad that, well, I hope this isn't a federal program, but I'm so glad that my state taxes are not going to this. I would be I would be livid.
So you don't die, and then they give it to you every day. And look, I'm not even homeless. I just went up to the guy and said, hey, can I get a Narcan bag and can I get a drug bag? And the guy said, yeah, no questions asked, no, hey, don't do this, or can we get you some help? No, they're just offering you
an overdose
bag to
bag.
do the drugs. They're not offering you any kind of help or assistance or any kind of detoxing.
What are you talking about? They're giving you plenty of help and assistance to do drugs.
They're just giving you the materials.
They're giving you the drugs
to do the drugs.
They're giving you the stuff you need to do the drug, and they're giving you the stuff that you need to revive your life after you do the drugs.
Think about how much money this costs for these packs to be given out daily.
Yeah, is it like $2.3 billion? Billion with a B that we could be using to help them from their, problems in life, their, whatchamacallit, their, drug addiction problems, but no, we're instead giving them the ability to, enable them. I mean, like, they have overdose bags to help people, but help them, I like that they have overdose bags to help people, but help them detox. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. It's just like, I'm glad that there are overdose bags. I think that's a universal good, because people who are overdosing, if you've got one on the street and you see somebody overdosing, you can save them immediately. I think that's good. The problem comes in with the other bag. You're helping them do the drugs to overdose. And then there's no program after. Like, I think that if you have to use a detox bag and you have to refill it or get another one, there has to be some type of way for them to be like, okay, who did you use it on? That person's got to go into a program to stop detoxification or to start their detoxing, to start their journey to recovery. I mean, with, again, 2.3 billion, again, I say it with a fucking B, not an M, B, billion. You would think that we'd have this problem under control.
Daily to so many people, when that money could be going to other programs to help them. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, here, kill yourself, save yourself, kill yourself, save yourself. It's a cycle, and it's not fair to them.
And before I left Skid Row, I had to see what it looks like inside of one of these tents.
How long did it take for you to make your shelter here?
About a day, maybe. About a day.
Yeah. And can I go inside, check it out?
Yeah, go ahead, check it out. Go ahead.
Yeah, why not?
He set up a closet inside of here. His air mattress right here is built up on a platform, and he's got water set up. It ain't much. However,
Man, he got
it
the
is completely
luxury
free to set up a
resort.
tent here in LA versus paying $3 to $4 grand for an apartment. It really ain't that bad inside there.
No, I mean, I try to keep it cool. You know, like I said, you know, wherever you live, you know, if you make it your home, hey, got to keep it clean, you know.
Inside your tent right here, do you get rats
Fair.
that come in?
Yeah, they come in, but then they go out. So as soon as I, you know, because I put this on the floor, that's pine saw and bleach.
Well, that was an abrupt end. I'm hoping that he releases more. I hope he releases more of these interviews. I'm going to be completely honest. This is a very important a very important message that needs to be sent out to people is like, you know, there's a lot of problems with homelessness and there needs to be a lot more awareness brought to it that homeless charities don't help the homeless. Imagine what that cycle does to someone's body. What body? They're not going to have a body after that. Like most of them probably won't even live to see 40 on the rate, at the rate they're going. And again, it's just like the fact that there's detox bags or overdose bags shows that somebody is 100% aware that there's a problem. It's just nobody's doing anything about it. They are doing actual negative trying to help this situation. Again, it really upsets me. Like I really do get like I usually try to stay a little emotional about things. I try to keep things a little light, but this really does break me up inside because it is a cycle of abuse in the sense that there are people being taken advantage of that don't even know they're being taken advantage of, and that really sets me off.